Well, hello again. I'm back. If you've followed my channel, I've been out to Stettler area and harvested a nice whitetail doe. And I've got a little less than 2 weeks to fill my mule deer draw, which I found impossible to get on top of anything substantial the last time I was out. So decided to put some meat in the fridge and in the freezer and so on, bump up the freezer a bit, but I am going to be here for as long as it takes, or depending, maybe have to cut it short, who knows. Got to keep contact with the family and so on, but anyways, I'm back. One more kick at the can, so to speak. So I'm back in my regular camp spot that I found that the trees that I was using were completely suitable for my setup, and I just pulled in, so it's time to set up. Just gonna take a little walk, see if anything's moved, see if there's any tracks. I see some deer tracks going through the camp. So I typically was here, and my rock for the diesel heater is here still, so awesome. And not too much snow on the ground, so yeah. I guess while the sun is up, I better get unpacking and unload the trailer and try to make camp as warm as possible. Don't get a lot of sunshine here, and the sun's pretty low all through the day anyway. And I do have a buddy that is coming out, possibly two buddies, depending on their schedules and time. The one friend said that he'd be here just after noon, so that's cool. Hope he makes it, and hope he's traveling well. But and I hope the day finds all of you well. I hope you are getting to enjoy your life and getting out into the real world and making the most of what you love to do, and finding that balance for your life. Anyways, without further ado, I'm gonna set up and show the accoutrements of my camp, a few additions, and if you haven't seen it before, I think it's a very nice and environmentally friendly, low impact way of camping. So if you're doing random camping in that, I highly suggest it, unless you're a family and you know, tailor make what you need to be comfortable enough. But for me, being solo, this is what I've developed, and we'll walk you through it after I get it all set up. Cheers. Well, so far so good. This is why I like these trees, because they're just the perfect distance apart to put up my hammock. And I tend to put the top rung at top of my chest, just on both sides, so that it doesn't create too much of height. And then I also like my head up a little bit, as well as facing to the north. Just good feng shui. So up here, I've got a couple of vents, but I've got a bag up there just to trap some of the heat, just because my furnace or diesel heater doesn't emit any fumes or gases, as opposed to, say, heater buddies, Coleman, all that kind of thing. Mind you, you don't need a battery for those, but you risk carbon monoxide poisoning as well. So a little bit of a trade-off, a little extra gear, a little different type of fuel, but it's going to be anywhere down to -5 to -16 out here. And this is my first year using it in the colder weather. So, here's the setup so far. And if you like it, give me a comment. If you don't like it, give me a comment. I know it's a little extra gear, and you certainly wouldn't be going out into the backwoods with this, but the hammock, absolutely, for sure, you could do that and tarp off whatever you need to, and so on, and that. If there's a will, there's a way. But because I'm relatively close to my truck and in a camping facility, and that's close to every place that I want to go, why not have a little bit of luxury, have a little bit of climate control, because camping, tenting in the winter, for my life and for being Canadian, tends to really suck, depending on the year. Anyways, I'm going to put it on fast forward here and just show you the rest of the setup here, and I'll slow her down when it comes to showing you the diesel heater, and I got a generator because, as you can see, not much daylight sun here, so the instead of packing up my my battery every day and somehow finding a place that's not obscured for the sunlight to recharge solar, I can plug in my diesel heater's battery to my generator, which I just bought, and charge it that way. So trickle charger, and let her rip. Otherwise, I don't really need power, other than maybe, to recharge batteries for cell phones and cameras and things like that. So anyways, or say, hey, I got a dead battery in the truck. Well, I can always start up the generator and put the trickle charger from there to the truck's battery, and get that going. So a little extra level of security in that sense as well. Cheers. I'll keep on going at it. Okay, more or less done. Didn't put out my generator, may as well keep that in the back of the truck when I need it. But out of sight, out of mind. Here's a nice diesel heater. I got everything all blocked off from the back, and the top here is more or less tied together, but maybe you could stuff something in that hole there just so that the heat doesn't escape quite so much. But everything's zip tied up, and got these wonderful little tie crank things. Keep things in place, but welcome to the inside. So zip tied up, and battery for the diesel heater, which inside here we got a T, so it's blowing up, blowing out. 4 layers to my sleeping bed with a electric heating blanket in there too. Takes these batteries, which sometimes is a pain in the back, literally, but proper positioning, it's all good. And even got my grandmother's hand woven carpet out, just so that I can have some nice cozy on my feet. And just weighted that down over there like that and blocked off with the, so I need some firewood to kind of go along here and kind of or block that down, but not bad. So we'll see how she holds the heat and how the night goes. It's not going to be too bad, maybe -5, maybe -10. I was looking at the closest town and they were about -5, so I'm out in the mountains, could be a little bit colder, but so far so good. And just in case you have more, I got it tied down there too. A little bit of a gap in the back there, but here's my porta potty toilet, which is so much nicer than going to the outhouse, or if there is no outhouse, then it's fine because I've got some place to sit as opposed to being leaned up against a tree or over a tree or whatever. And a lot more sanitary for, say, campground living as well, so that nobody has to come across your mess. So that's it for now, and gonna go get some firewood, and my buddy set up over here. He's got his trailer and everything, so half the time the amount to set up, but whatever. This is what I can afford and what I can do. I'll catch up to you later. Well, hello. Yes, I'm kind of defeated at the moment. So I'm back up in the Panther River region, where I have my draw for mule deer, and things are pretty much the same, you know. Every road you go down, there's horses. Every cut line you go down, there's horses. Every hillside that you decide to look on that has some grass on it, there's horses. Talk about an invasive species. Pretty much, the freshest sign that I've seen with the snow on the ground. One doe track here, one doe track there. Very far and few between. And yeah, just pretty disappointing. It doesn't seem like there's any numbers to actually elicit a rut. There's no tracks that are following tracks in a concerned way, like they're trying to catch up to each other or anything like that. And it was cold last night. I think they were calling for -5 or so, but I'm sure it got down to -10, -15. Water was frozen this morning, so I had to put that in the truck when I got up, and good thing I had the forethought to make my coffee last night, or at least get it prepped anyway. Even if it was frozen this morning, at least I would be able to start the burner on low and just warm it up until she melted, and then perk my coffee. But whatever's left in my pot by this time is probably frozen again. So, but I got a full thermos and decided to take a walk where I was on a couple of previous videos ago. So there's the cut line that I just went up right there. I was just taking a little walk to see what's around, but of course, horses. No people tracks. And I'm thinking, why would there be? There's no deer up here. There's no elk up here. There's no moose up here. I haven't seen proof of life yet here, other than the odd 2-day-old track. And I mean, it's very infrequent. My campground has way more activity where there's a firearm restriction in place because of, it's pretty obvious. You don't want to shoot your neighbor or something like that. Have a bunch of yahoos, because there are yahoos around that wouldn't be so kind and considerate. But anyways, that's just a little update where I'm at the moment, and just taking a little walk this morning. First full day out here again, and yeah, not stuck on any agenda really. Just gonna get hopefully into more sign, see where things have moved off to, if there's anything to be had to find. I'm thinking that I need a poplar forest as opposed to this pine forest here. Really just doesn't seem like there's the numbers, and maybe the animals are have just moved with the seasons and the times of the food availability. So yeah, we'll see what happens, and let the journey continue. Gonna get back and get some breakfast, and I used my diesel heater for most of the night last night. So I'm just wondering, because it's a brand new piece of equipment to me. I bought a generator and I've got my trickle charger along, so while I'm eating breakfast and contemplating on where to go next, I'm gonna just see how long it actually takes to charge up that battery and how much fuel I go through. When I was out here last, I was going through maybe 2 bars worth, which out of a full tank of gas, which would give me like 4 days. But considerably colder now, so I think I used a third of a tank of gas last night, or diesel fuel. And so yeah, you gotta weigh your pros and cons, the expense of everything as opposed to the productivity of getting a nice mature something or other. So we'll see how that goes, and just do the calculations to see if it's even worth sticking around to this place. But like I said, I've been waiting 12 years for this draw. Apparently a lot has changed since then, and like I'm complaining about over and over again, the horses and the population of wild horses up here is just absolutely ridiculous. Ridiculous. I'm sure they've just driven everything out of here. Not to mention make the food that is consumable so much more scarce. Because if you haven't noticed, those piles of poop are huge. And most cut lines and grassy fields are grazed down like it's an old pasture where they had no choice but to nibble away because they didn't have enough feed. Oh well, such is life, eh? Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the last video. At least that was productive, and got a white-tailed deer, doe, and my brother and friend from another mother definitely capitalized on his time out and got that beautiful white-tailed buck. And if I wasn't using a piece of new equipment, I probably would have had 2 deer, but oh well, had to try it. Was still suffering from a heel injury on my left side, and I thought a walking stick and a shooting stick would be a good idea. But apparently it takes some getting used to and some practice. So, needless to say, I missed a couple of opportunities, and yeah, what do you do? Some years are like that. Check it. Definitely beautiful country. Was one of my favorite places to go when I was young. Not to mention my dad's and my mom. My mom used to love to come up here in the springtime and pick wild flowers for her book to press the wild flowers in between the pages. Yeah, Anyway, life goes on. We'll catch up to you guys later. Update complete for now. Well, good morning, everybody. Look what I see. What a wonderful morning, indeed. Well, a nice big bull moose. Well, not that big, but still. A great day, for sure. Well, how do you do? I'm out on this snowy day. Quite the adventure to get here. And I had to stop traffic for an accident on a bridge. Everybody was just a little bit too impatient, and this fellow decided to hit both rails, or had no choice but to hit both rails because he was going a little bit too quick and wasn't used to the terrain. But anyways, decided to turn around, and then I thought, don't be a fraidy cat. So I ended up coming up one of my favorite haunts, because I've given up on mule deer. There was just nothing in the forest. So I was down there and I saw movement, and well, this is H-hour. This is all about putting something in the freezer. So I saw movement and lined up, and I couldn't use my bipod because it was I was a little bit too low on the terrain, but did a one knee and lined up and made sure that I was good to go, and touched one off, and I got a small buck. Yeah, it's a little forkhorn, but what do you do? Better than nothing at all and eating tag soup. So it was one shot and he dropped right there, and I'm just about to start processing. And because I'm getting a little older, I'm kind of grateful it's not a 300-pound buck. But a little forkhorn, a couple years old, and good shot placement, and like I said, it dropped right there, and didn't even know what hit him. And so, as they say, now the work begins. And I'm alone, and did bring a sled with me, but that's about 2 kilometers away from where I'm parked. So, needless to say, it always has to be the farthest point that I dare to go. On a side note, though, I got a nice 4x4 just on the other side of that hill with my son, which was his, I think, second time that he was with me when I got a buck. But yeah, strong lad, and 18 at the time, and he's done his hunter training course and all that kind of thing. But needless to say, he hasn't got inspired and is working hard to pay for school. So, anyways, yay, deer in the bucket. So, I guess I best be getting on this and getting it done. And I have no idea what time it is. It's probably about noon now. I got here kind of late, but in weather like this, and the amount of deer that I seen just even running down the road, and I saw a couple of nice bull moose along the way beside the road, just browsing some willows. It's been one of those magical days, so I can let go of some of my frustration with the mule deer bucks that have been rutting in my front yard in my small town, and hang this baby up in my shed, and it's perfect temperatures. We're going to be down to -2 to -5, and highs of maybe -6 to -2 during the day. So I should be able to let it hang for a little bit of time, and just take my time processing it right, and get the hide off when I get home. I know there's some people that like to get the hide off immediately, but this buck is so young, it's going to be so tender anyway. So, needless to say, a successful harvest. And yeah, I'll maybe take some pictures of my journey on the way out, and I should be able to just lift her up and throw it into the back of my pickup truck. So, without further ado, I will get on processing out and getting. I've already cut off the back scent glands, so that's a must, just because it is rut. So, hope everybody is successful and doing those ethical kills, and receiving their gifts of table fare for this next year. And that's it for me for this season, other than going nature watching and continuing on with trying to be inspired to create some more meaningful content on YouTube. So just a further note to how I process, I've taken a lesson from my friend that I'm going to split right up just beside the breast, just cut through the ribs on the one side, and allow good air circulation and it to cool down. I don't particularly like cutting through the pelvis, but we'll see how it goes, and I'll spare you the gory sights and scenes. But anyways, Yeah, yay. Cheers. Oh, I'm certainly not as strong as I used to be, especially with my heel the way it is. But slow and steady wins the race. Got him hooked up to my pack. Beautiful scenery. Old growth timber. Big trees. I usually go up over on the other side and circle around to this side, but just because the wind direction this morning, I said, well, instead of blowing my scent through the whole valley and up this side, I just come up this side right away and work the crosswind. And sure enough, she worked. Anyway, that's my path. And once I get to the end of this coulee, then I can just go straight down. So it's coming along. It's taken me an hour and a half or so to get here. And that's about 1.5 kilometers worth of travel. And did come across somebody else's boot prints, but I didn't see them. So I don't know what happened to them. Maybe they circled around to the other side. Who knows? Anyways, slow and steady. Like I said, get this baby out. And then getting it into my truck is another ordeal. But see what I can do. Cheers. Go figure. Well, that's a little bigger. Could have reached out and spit on him. Didn't even know I was here. A little bit bigger than mine. That was cool. You never know what happens when you just sit still. And it came right up from the road too. So I'm sitting here with my deer, and that just happened. Really cool. Fantastic area, I must say. And at least he knows how to breed, so obviously there's going to be some young ones around again a little bit later down the road. Awesome. That was really cool. Cheers, guys. Oh, hello. Well, I made it back to the truck, and just about disaster. I loaded the deer into the back of the truck, and I noticed my tag was gone. Panic. Well, easy enough to follow my tracks back. And I had the thought, well, I've downloaded my licenses this year, and had ordered tags and stuff like that. And I thought, well, my first thought was, oh, I'll just make a new tag and match the number. And then I realized, oh no, you can't do that. The tag has the number that you entered on the internet to print out your license for that species. So back I went. I got it. Yay. I'm all good, because that's all I need is to get stopped and, oh, where's your tag? And blah, blah, blah. Well, I got my license, but must have ripped off. It's like, why didn't you go and find it? It's like, I do my due diligence. And so, back at the truck. I much prefer the metal tags that we used to have in Alberta. But yeah, what do you do? Things change. Government, I don't know, for whatever reason, changed to these, sticky tags. But get a shot of this. Reapply. No, don't stick together. Once these things are stuck, they're stuck good, but if it's snowing like crazy and full of moisture, they don't stick very good. They got little perforations, so you can't reuse the tag, but there. Through the hind tendon, and it's stuck good now. Completely legal. Anyways, disaster averted. Maybe I should get out of my winter whites. Are kind of ready whites now. But that was an awesome encounter with that little 3-point buck coming up. And for those of you in other parts of the country or down in the States, that was maybe a 6-point buck. I'll have to take a look at the video to see if the brow tines were over 3 or 4 inches or whatever the regulations are. But yeah, fun and games. Mission successful. 6 more days of hunting season. Do I go after my mule deer when I damn well know that there's no mule deer out there? I don't know. We'll see how my foot's doing. My heel. That was kind of a long drag. And I think, how long did that take? That took me 2.5 hours to drag it out with my injured leg and my injured foot. So anyways, if I don't take any pictures of said animals along the way home, I will catch up to you at home. Cheers. Nice. Chasing the does. What a way to finish off. He says, come back, come back. I really want you. Well, that's an awesome way to finish the day. Too bad I didn't see him out at Panther Creek, but oh well. What do you do? Cheers. Hope you enjoyed the video.